After the coup in Niger, the price of uranium increased from $56.15 per pound to $56.25 per pound. According to Euratom, Niger is the second biggest uranium supplier to the EU. Niger's 2,975 tonnes of raw uranium accounts for 25.4%. Kazakhstan's 3,145 tonnes of raw uranium accounts for 26.8%. Canada, with 2,578 tonnes of raw uranium, accounts for 22%. Russia, with 1,980 tonnes of raw uranium, accounts for 16.9%. According to the World Nuclear Association's 2021 data, Niger was the 7th largest uranium exporter, with its 311,100 tonnes of raw uranium accounting for 5% of world supplies. Australia was first with 28%, that is 1.6841 million tonnes of raw uranium. Kazakhstan was second with 13%, that is 815,200 tonnes of raw uranium. Canada was third with 10%, that is 588,500 tonnes of raw uranium. Russia was fourth with 8%, and that was 480,900 tonnes of raw uranium. Namibia was fifth with just under 8%, and that was 470,100 tonnes of raw uranium. South Africa was sixth with just over 5%, and that was 320,900 tonnes of raw uranium. The World Nuclear Association's latest data shows that Niger produces 7.5% of world uranium output and possesses Africa's highest grade of uranium ore. Niger exported 17,640 tonnes of uranium over the last decade to France. This accounted for 20% of French uranium needs, and that was reported by Le Monde. France 24 reported that France operates 56 nuclear reactors that provide 2/3 of electricity in France. Al Jazeera reported that the cost of living, government incompetence, and corruption were motivating factors in the Niger coup. France 24 reported that Niger frequently ranks at the bottom of the Human Development Index, and that the United States, France, and Turkey have military bases in Niger. France 24 said Mohamed Bazoum was one of the few pro-Western leaders in the West African region. The BBC reported that Nigerians suffer from the violence of insurgencies by Al-Qaeda, Islamic State, and Boko Haram. This is mainly in the Sahel region. On the 26th of July, General Tchiani led the Presidential Guard in arresting Bazoum and Interior Minister Hamadou Souleh. Later, the Presidential Guard, along with General Barmou's Special Forces, set up the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland, and General Tchiani is the new president of Niger. Ecowas, France, the European Union, United States, the African Union, and the United Nations all support Bazoum. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea all support Niger. The Middle East Eye reported that Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune said a military intervention in Niger is a direct threat to Algeria. This is interesting as Bazoum is an Arab. Arabs are 0.4% of Niger's population and over 75% of Algeria's population. Niger is mostly Hausa. Hausa is spoken by 50 million people as a first language. That is more people speaking the language as a first language than in any other African language. Hausa is a language in the Chadic branch of Afro-Asiatic languages. Afro-Asiatic languages are also known as Semito-Hamitic languages and Hamido-Semitic languages. It is the fourth largest language family after Indo-European, Sino-Tibetan, and Niger-Congo. Hausa people live in Nigeria, Sudan, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Ghana, the Central African Republic, Eritrea, Benin, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, the Republic of Congo, Gabon, Algeria, and the Gambia, as well as Niger. Ecowas issued an ultimatum to restore Bazoum by the 6th of August, and Niger called their bluff. Ecowas froze Nigerian state assets and cancelled a $51 million bond issuance. M62, the Sacred Union for the Safeguard of the Sovereignty and Dignity of the People movement, protested in support of the coup outside the French and United States embassies. M62 had previously opposed Bazoum's government and France's Operation Barkhane in Sahel. Niger's borders with Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, Libya and Chad are open. African News reported that Islamic State killed 20 Malian soldiers bound for Niger on the 4th of August. Sure, that was coincidental timing. France 24 reported that the French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna announced France's support for an Ecowas intervention in Niger, and it is interesting that the Nigerian Senate voted against the Nigerian president's proposed intervention in Niger. On the 6th of August, between 30,000 and 35,000 people demonstrated at Stade General Sani Kunche in Niamey in support of the coup. France has a month to vacate Niger. Mali and Burkina Faso sent delegations to Niger in solidarity. Biafra said it would support Niger if Ecowas intervenes. The BBC and the Associated Press reported that General Barmou told Victoria Nuland to pound sand, and rightly so. Ecowas, United Nations and the African Union delegations were denied entry into Niger. France, America, Britain, Spain and Italy have all evacuated citizens from Niger. M62 have called for a peaceful blockade of Niamey airport until foreign military forces leave the country. I assume they are not talking about Burkina and Malian forces which have been invited in by the government of Niger. The World is One News reported that the United States suspended $100 million in aid to Niger, and that shows who is backing the old regime.